Welcome, everybody, to the Walking Desires podcast.
Welcome to the Walking Desires podcast,
home of the intimacy superpower.
I am Goddess, Mistress, Madam, Snacks, author of the Intimacy Superpower, internationally known spoken word artist, and intimacy expert and coach, J. Simone.
And I am Mr. Yes Lord, Mr. BYB, Bitch You Better, Mr. Soul Gargler, Mr. Shut 'em Down, Mr. Make It Happen, Mr. Steal Your Girl, but I am widely known as the Walking Erotica,
where we dissect the spectrum of relationship topics, including lifestyle, from a social and personal perspective.
Which means most likely it's going to get crazy, spicy, and all that good shit in between. So thank you for listening, and please enjoy the show.
Buckle up.
Hey,
Welcome. Oh, no, you're not ready.
No, I'm not ready. I'm not. You
ready?
You know
ready?
What I mean? I guess. Okay.
Welcome to the Walking Desires podcast.
Welcome to the Walking Desires podcast.
Home of the intimacy superpower.
Indeed, indeed. I hope everybody is well and, you know what I'm saying, had a great day. You know, we know how them days can be sometimes. So, you know,
they
I'm really
can be
happy
trying.
that I'm really happy to be here with my person. Y'all have no idea. Today has been pretty rough, but she has been stand up as she always is, you know what I mean? And just so wonderful. So I just want to, you know, always give her flowers and, you know what I'm saying? Make sure that she knowing that I ain't afraid to say it out loud in public.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
Thank you. Wait till this is over.
Hey, listen, you promise?
And I always keep them.
Hands off.
Okay.
Hands off.
Hey, y'all.
Hey, y'all.
Hey.
What's up? What's up? What's up?
So we do have stories today, but we
Yes.
also have questions.
Yes.
So we're going to get to the questions first. But I'm glad you're doing well.
Yes.
I'm glad you're better. This is great.
Yes.
I appreciate you.
I appreciate you.
So
Let's get to it.
yes, let's get to it. So there has been a trend, and someone asked this question, and it was so interesting because I was just in a group. I'm in several couples, women's relationships groups, and in this group, this exact thing happened. So she just asked what we think of women proposing. And in the group, a woman posted and she said, it's almost 2025. Like, we need to normalize women proposing. And in this group, when I tell you the people that attacked her, it was vicious.
I believe it.
What they did to this woman. And I felt really bad for her because the pictures were all beautiful that she put up, all these different women proposing.
Right.
It didn't go over well. The women were like, you need to be kicked out of the group.
Damn.
Because it's like a soft life group, you know, and they were like, you can't live your soft life. You can't live your best life if you're the one proposing. And some men were like, ugh, no, if a woman proposed to me, I would break up with her immediately. So I'm going to ask you,
Lord.
What do you think of a woman proposing?
I think, honestly, it all depends on how your relationship's set up. Like, I'm not the person now. Personally, if you're asking me, I want to do the honor of proposing to my woman because I know what, from a man's perspective, what that really, really means. For the most part, being honest, for the most part, for a man, that means that he's ready to take on the full responsibility of a whole nother life. So
that makes sense.
You know, that's why, you know, a lot of men actually are very hesitant to do that. And it's not because they don't love the woman. It ain't that, you know, they don't see themselves with the woman. They know the responsibility that's going to come with that motherfucking shit.
That makes sense.
So I understand why some men would be disgusted with a woman proposing. However, if I would actually have to check my woman's tendencies and asking why. Because she may feel that way. Like, I know, you know, the cliche thing is that women want to get married and, you know, do all this other shit. But I really don't really think that some of them don't really want to do everything that goes with being married. So I feel like if a woman comes out and says it, even though it's odd because we're used to seeing the man do it, to me, a woman coming out and doing that is saying, yo, I am ready to take on everything that you have going on. Every single thing. I don't want to, not say playing house, but it's more like I want to lock in.
Mm-hmm.
I really, 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 really want to lock in with you and you to let you know, because I can also see it from a perspective of I want you to know that you are worth being married.
Yes.
So I can see that perspective as well. You know what I mean? But I also, like I said, I can also see the traditionalists like, no, that's this, that, and the third. And it's like, no, because I promise if your partner came and did that, you will have a conversation before you say, no, I'm not going to marry you. Like the people that's actually saying that shit, they being facetious for real. Like, you know what I'm saying? Because it's for any person, man or woman, to actually want that and to publicly come out and say that, they've thought about that shit and they've thought about the investment of it.
Mm-hmm.
So, you know what I'm saying? That's why I'm like, with some people saying that they will leave the person, no, and it has nothing to do with feminine or masculine. Like, I want people to not, construe the two and put them both together, because it has nothing to do with that. Every situation is unique and different.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? How many times this is the pushback about the people that's saying that they don't think that the woman should do that or whatever. How many women have talked about how much they want to get married and that man don't fucking say nothing?
This is true.
And that man don't do shit. And you know what I'm saying? And that causes rifts between them, even though, and the man saying, yeah, I'm gonna do it. Yeah, we're gonna get married. Yeah, we're gonna get married. Yeah, we're gonna get married. And it never comes to fruition. And the conversation about it actually never happens for real.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I can understand some men don't have they don't have the oomph for marriage, and that's not a bad thing, but they don't have that because they're like, shit, I'm doing everything that I would do if I was married anyway. So,
True.
For some of them, you know what I'm saying? It's like, shit, I'm married in my head already. So to actually go and do all of that other stuff may be a little different now. I mean, but each his own.
That's true. But there are also lots of people who like to play house. They want all the benefits of a wife without the actual commitment of one.
That is true.
And so I can see why, if someone was already doing that, they were already saying like, I'm doing what a wife might do, or we're already playing house, or we're already whatever, they want the actual commitment of it.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes, like you said, they get tired of waiting. So let me see where we are, if nothing else. Because if you're like, no, I'm definitely not going to do that. Okay, well then now I know.
Right.
And now
right,
I can leave this relationship. So if somebody said no, it would be really easy. Oh, great. Now I know where I stand.
Right.
I'm out. So that's fine.
I'm out.
But yes, people who are very much into gender roles and saying, okay, I as a man must be the one that proposes. I get that. Because I as a woman, I want to be the one that someone proposes to.
There you go.
You know what I mean? Like I want, but I also feel like for a human, that makes you feel special. It makes you feel like you said, I'm worth that. Or at least they feel like I'm worth them committing their life to.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Whatever we're doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
And my partner is happy and they want to continue. Not only do they want to continue what we're doing, they want to do more of what we're doing.
Right.
And so if you're invested in your partner, I could see you being like, oh, well, okay. You know what I mean? Like, okay, let's do this thing.
Exactly.
But, for a lot of women who are into, okay, this is my soft life. This is me living my best life. I want to be just the most divine feminine I can possibly be. For me, that means doing all the things you want. And if you want to propose to your partner, you should go propose to your partner. Mm-hmm. If you want to have them propose to you, then you just need to wait.
Right.
So it really just depends. For someone to tell someone else how to live their best life,
right,
how to be the person in their soft life era, I don't understand how you can tell someone else how they're supposed to do that.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
You know, you don't know what their best life is. It could be they've always been the person who's like, well, I've had all this in me and I just want to confess my love and, do that.
Yeah,
they
we know a couple of those.
Exactly. They may have always wanted to be the Romeo in this Juliet. You know what I mean? Like they may have always wanted this. People don't understand what other people's dreams are.
Right.
And I've seen some proposals by women that are gorgeous. And they're like, this is what I wanted. And I know that he would want this.
Right.
Like y'all don't know their relationship. Yeah. You don't know the dynamics of their relationship. Maybe that is her personality.
Right.
And that is his.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
Let them live their best lives. Yeah. Whatever, if they're happy doing it, go ahead. You know me, I'm never gonna yuck somebody's yum.
Right.
Go ahead, sis. If that's what you want to do, hope y'all live happily ever after.
Right.
But if you wanted him to do it, don't do it first.
Yeah, I was going to say you might want to discuss that. But I understand the woman wanting to propose to the man because I've been in situations and relationships where women have told me on multiple occasions, like, I've never wanted to be married in my life. I've never wanted that, but I want that with you. So I can see that type of person that has that type of attitude being the one to come up and say something.
And I think because, like you said, then you would know because you know them.
Right.
And you know maybe they're not the marrying type. So for them, and you might not, if they're not the marrying type, you may be hesitant in asking because you don't think they'll say yes.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So now they've already opened this door to you. They've let you know what? I could get married to you.
Right.
And now it's up to you. Well, do you want to do it or not?
Right.
Because sometimes it's just that. I'm letting you know. And now you, man, still have the opportunity to go do this grand gesture for her. Even if she's proposed to you, you can be like, you know what? I'm going to do something bigger.
Right. Right. Exactly.
I'm going to do it to let her know she's worth that too.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that people must not understand that he's done something to and for her to make her want to do this.
Right.
Y'all just want that. Y'all don't know what that is.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So let them live their best life. All these judgy people out here.
Yeah,
listen.
You know what I mean? And to speak on the one, like I was saying, the ones that, aren't the marrying type, for her to come out and say in any capacity that she's considering marriage to that guy, that's a whole different world that he has to think about now.
That's true.
Because he was sitting there thinking the whole time, like, she ain't the marrying type, but we gonna do whatever. And then she pops this shit up on him. And he's like, oh my God, now I have to understand what that means for us. Because a lot of people, and I'm gonna keep it a buck, a lot of people that, talk about marriage and want to get married and stuff don't really understand what comes with that and the responsibility and the commitment that comes with that. It just sounds good and it looks good when you have the Mr. and the Mrs. on your paperwork and all of that good shit. But within the confines of the contract, there's a lot that you have to do to sustain this said thing that you say that you really wanted to do. And I don't think a lot of people actually prepare themselves for that type of level of thinking when it comes to marriage. True. They think it's just a relationship with a contract, and that is not
it. It's a little more than that.
Yes, it's
actually a lot more than that.
You know what I mean? That's like a life inside of another life that you really have to, construct and actually be responsible for and participate in.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Yes. You can't, I see a marriage as something that you can't just pay attention when you want to pay it attention like you can in a relationship. Yes. Like you can kind of zone out in a relationship, but
And you can leave.
Yeah, you can leave.
You can leave, and there's no ramifications.
I'm out.
People might be like, "Oh man, y'all were together for 7 years. He just walked out." Yes, he did.
Yes,
he had no ties.
Right.
He had no reason. What are you going to do? Sue him?
Right.
Like what are you going to do?
Exactly.
Now,
exactly.
If he's married to you, he can't get married to anybody else.
Nope. He can't get married to anybody else.
No,
and
he can't do a lot of things without you.
Yes.
And you can pretty much always find him.
Yes, always find him. Always, you know what I'm saying? The financial situation, you know what I'm saying, to be a whole lot different. He just can't leave you hanging out to dry.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? So it's, a lot of stuff that, people have to consider. So even in this situation, when the woman is asking the man to marry him, like, I mean, hey man, whatever floats your boat. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Apparently it's something that he felt comfortable accepting because of, you know what I'm saying, their situation. That don't mean that he a bitch in the house. I need y'all to fucking understand
exactly.
that.
That's
get
the
that
crazy
shit
part.
Up out of the way.
That's not what that means at all. I mean? It just means that in this moment, for this experience, this is how they chose to conduct themselves.
Right.
And it's not up to you to tell them whether they're right or wrong, especially if they're happy. Let them be happy.
Yes. And this could be that situation where she didn't want to get married, and this is a way of him saying, because he could be wanting to get married and she's like, no. Because you never know how many times they had the conversation. Exactly. You never know if he proposed to her before. The only thing you seeing is her proposing to him and just jumping out with a conclusion and not knowing the inner workings of what was going on with them. So.
Exactly. Agreed. Good job.
Thank you.
Okay.
So silly.
So, did you have any questions?
Yeah. Let's see. We did women proposing. Fuck it. I'll go to this one. Who is more important? The mom or the wife? Example, the mom felt entitled to ride in the front seat of the car and kick the wife into the back.
Okay, so in this example, this is what happened. It had to have happened this way. The husband is driving.
Yes, gotta be.
Okay, so the husband is driving.
Gotta be.
The wife was in the front seat, I suppose, or they were discussing who was going to be in the front seat. Either way, the mom is like, mush to the wife.
Yeah.
In my head, this is how it happened.
Yeah, that's about right.
Mush to the wife, you going in the back seat and sits in the front seat. This also means that the husband allowed this to happen.
That's true.
So the mom is riding the front seat. The wife now has a decision to make. Are you going to stay in this back seat or are you going to drive in your own car?
That's a fact.
Because
that's a fact.
If you're here and you're telling me I can't ride in the front seat with my husband and you entitled to this, you know what, you can have that. And sir, you can have this.
Yeah, I felt that.
You can have this. Because if I really want to go to this place, I'm now driving myself. I'm not riding with y'all. That's absolutely not happening. I'm telling you that now, because if I ride in this back seat, I'm like shooting invisible bullets in the back of your head. Like I want to mush you in the back of your head too. And so to keep us from dying in this car, I will have to drive myself because I know me.
Man.
And I'm like flicking him. When I tell you the petty little kid things I'm doing, I'm doing them.
I felt that.
I'm doing them, and I'm looking at her while I'm doing them, like, and daring her, like, what you gonna say? What you gonna do now? You want to be in front. So
that's hilarious.
So listen, Linda, don't let me be in this situation, because I recognize who I am, and I'm going to remove myself from this situation before it gets ridiculous.
I felt that. Because
I'm always conducting myself like a lady. I mean, a whole goddess. And we know that sometimes gods, they are not merciful.
That is true.
And they are vengeful.
That is true.
And listen, I can be both, but I don't want to be. So I'm going to remove myself. But this is really on the husband.
Yes.
This whole situation is on the husband.
Yeah.
And he needs to make a decision. Your mama can come and she can be in the front seat. I wouldn't care if she's in the front seat if we've already discussed it.
Right.
Because sometimes that's necessary. Maybe she has a hard time getting in and out of cars. Sometimes because the front seat is roomier. And there are a whole lot of reasons why she might need the front seat.
Right. Right.
But if you just believe you're gonna mush me in the head, basically, and push me in the back seat of our car.
Right. Right.
I have an issue.
Yeah, I felt that.
So, no, that's a no from me. I'm the wife. I am most important in this relationship. You have left your parents to be with me. We will have discussions on what we're going to do with them, on how it's going to happen. However, we're always going to discuss it. The two of you aren't discussing what happens with me.
Right.
We're discussing what happens with everybody else in the world. I don't care if it's our kids. We're discussing what's happening with our children, with our parents, with our neighbors, with our everything. It's us versus everything else.
Yeah, I felt that.
And you've now removed me from that equation. So don't be mad when I do things my own way.
I mean, I can't even come back on that. I agree with everything you said. Even the pettiness. I totally understand that shit. Like I would ride out like that. But you're right. I feel like in this situation, it would have been discussed. It would have been discussed way before it was time to go for a ride anywhere. If anything, I would do some petty shit and be like, babe, you drive.
Mom
sit in the front and I sit in the back.
There you go. Now that I can understand. Because if you see she's getting out of hand and you already see my face because I'm looking at you like, do something about your mama.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm already giving you that look. So now it is up to you to decide. And if you make that decision, you know what? Peace. That's what I'm talking about. Peacemaker. I'm good.
That's what I would do. But if I'm still driving, I'm like, Mom, you gotta get in the back. Like,
or let me chauffeur you both, or something. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not gonna make it a power grab,
right?
And then acquiesce to you.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, Mom, you get in the back. I mean, shit, enjoy the ride. Like, you never get to sit in the back of anything. Like, just chill out. Like, this ain't no, you know what I'm saying? Hierarchy, royalty shit. Don't make it that.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's not what we're doing, and that's not how I run my life. So even in this little bit of bullshit situation, I'm not going to allow you to rile up anything. That doesn't mean that I love you any less. That don't mean any of that bullshit. And if you are that way, then you are a shallow motherfucker. We got some other shit that we need to discuss. But yeah, because I would not expect for me to get in her car and her husband's in the back. The fuck? You know what I'm saying?
That's exactly what she did, though.
You know what I mean? Like, that would be, like, to me, that would be weird.
And her husband, who may or may not be your father, but her husband is not going to allow you to do that.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. And if she's driving, he's not going to let you sit in the front with her.
Sit in the front with her. Exactly.
So why you think it's okay to do this to us is beyond me, because that's not happening. And as I said, I'm not going to be petty, so I'm going to remove myself from the situation.
Right.
And I don't want to make it a big issue with your mother.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't want to do that. So in order for me not to have an attitude the whole time, because I know I will. I will not be able to sit in the back and get over it immediately. I know this. I know this about myself. So let me just remove myself from the situation. I'll meet y'all there.
Go crack my head later.
Listen. I'll meet y'all there.
The muffin is cracked.
Listen, because if I already got dressed, I'm probably going.
Yeah, for sure.
But I'll meet you there. It's cool.
It's not, but I understand.
It's not at all.
Yeah.
But it will be in this moment, because we're not going to fight in front of her either.
Right.
Because I'm not going to give her the benefit of that.
Yeah. Indeed.
So,
indeed.
But I forgot something. And I have to bring this. You know what? let me meet y'all there. Because I do have this other errands. I'll meet y'all there. It's okay.
I'll be a little late.
Be a little late.
Yeah, I'll be a little late.
But I'll see y'all there.
Yeah.
Enjoy it.
Yeah.
Enjoy this ride. Mom and son, like, bond. I'll see y'all later.
Right. Okay. I asked the reverse to you. But I think I know where you'll go, but I asked anyway. So if you're driving and your husband's in the car and your dad wants to go somewhere to ride, are you kicking your husband out of the front seat to the back?
He can sit in the back too. No, my dad can sit in the back. He want to ride, get in the back.
I felt that.
I mean, again, unless he has like a mobility issue or something like that, in which it is easier for him to be in the front seat. And let's say I have a small car and not an SUV or something like that, like a car that's smaller in the back. I can understand that. I'm going to put him in the back seat unless he needs to be in the front. Right, honestly, you're not my husband. So,
so what? Let me ask: would a discussion be had at all? Would a discussion be had at all?
What do we need to discuss?
See, and that's what I would expect. I would expect that because I don't think men look at it that way. I don't think, and I don't even think men are considered in that manner. Like, if you were I have to change it because it's like, what if you're a daddy's girl? And this is the situation.
Like you're saying, like if my mom was riding with us instead? Like if it was my mom and I'm driving?
You're a daddy's girl and I'm in the car and your dad comes.
I'm a daddy's girl. Well,
yes.
I mean, I was a daddy's girl for like a little while. I mean,
I felt that.
I was. And if it happened, given like my dad's situation right now, we would have had that discussion only because he does have a mobility issue. And so I would ask you if we are going to go anywhere, more than likely I'd just be like, Dad, just stay home. But if we're going to go anywhere, we would have already discussed that.
Right.
Like, babe, you know, maybe, and I probably wouldn't drive. I would probably have you drive, and that would have been the conversation. But if we go anywhere, can you drive? And the two of you will be in the front. I'll sit in the back. Like, I don't mind that.
Yeah.
And then we go somewhere. That would be the discussion, really.
Yeah. See, and that's what, back to the mom, that's what would be my answer. If we're over there visiting or whatever, and it pops up that we have to go somewhere, I'm coming to you and saying, hey, do you mind driving? I'm putting myself in the back because I don't want to have that conversation, and I'm not going to have that conversation.
But if we have it, the thing is, the difference in that is that if we have that conversation, I wouldn't mind sitting in the back.
No, not with you, with my mom.
Oh.
I'm not having a conversation with my mom.
Okay. So because we're having the conversation.
Yes.
And then I'll sit in the back though. If we're having the conversation, I'm walking to the back seat anyway because we spoke.
No, this is my thing. I would have the conversation and ask you, do you feel comfortable driving? The reason why is because I want you in my fucking front seat. I want my lady in the front seat with me. I want to see my lady while I'm fucking driving. However, I understand that she also feels like she's the lady in my life. So I'm not going to disrespect either or and just cancel all of the tips. You know what I mean? I'm letting you know, you may sit in the back. I appreciate that. I'm going to always let you know I appreciate that. But I want you to know before we even go any fucking way that I want you in the front.
And that would be enough for me.
So.
And yeah, that would be enough. I'd be like, all right, well, I understand. But if it's her thing, I know she's just visiting. And that would be the other thing.
Right.
She's just visiting.
Right.
This is not a daily thing. She's just visiting. Let her have this moment with you. I'll sit in the back. I want to be chauffeur too. No, I'm just...
Listen,
I'm a whole passenger princess.
I drive most of the time, so I mean, I'm not. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't be opposed to sitting in the back. You know what I'm saying? Two beautiful women in the front driving. Like,
And I would drive.
do what it is.
I
you
enjoy
know what I'm
driving.
saying? I'll drive you later. You know what I'm saying?
Hey, I'll ride later.
My
Okay.
passenger princess.
Listen. Y'all.
We nuts. We nuts.
And this is all the time. This is literally all the time, I promise.
Can't help it.
I know.
Can't help it.
So I have another question. This was a very specific situation.
Okay.
So it's a relatively short story. This is from the second girlfriend.
Okay. The second girlfriend. Oh, shit. All right.
So this woman is with a man for 2 years. They have a baby. The baby is less than a year. She discovers that he has another baby who's older than her baby. But he says he doesn't deal with her. She's a terrible person. She's like a horrible monster. And so they're not together anymore and he loves her. Second. So the second one finds out this is not the case, that the one with the older baby knows the family, lives with him. You know, he moved her in. He's close to her, treats her amazingly well.
Niggas, man.
They have this fantastic relationship. The one with the older baby has no idea there's this other one even exists, of course.
Oh, bro.
So they eventually meet each other, though. It doesn't go into how, but they meet each other. So now they're talking. So now the one with the older baby who lives with him. So wifey, we'll call her wifey because she's in the house with him. Wifey is like, oh, there's a whole nother child out there? You have a whole nother girl? What's happening? He's like, oh, y'all are talking? He kicks her out. He's like, I'm going to put you out my house because it's wrong for you to be talking to this other woman behind my back. So the question which is from number 2.
Okay.
Is it wrong for them to communicate? Is it wrong for them to have a relationship? Is it wrong for them to bond? The women. Wrong for both the women to bond without him.
Ooh. I'm going to say no. Because whatever path they cross that path. So you really wasn't going to be able to stop it anyway. And the reason why I feel like it crossed is because you goddamn sat up here and lied on this bitch. You know what I'm saying? You didn't tell her the real situation of what was going on and stuff like that. You hid the baby. You hid the lady. Not only hid the lady, but how the hell you felt about the lady. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? And how your family felt about the lady. Mm-hmm. And, you know, this, that, and the third. And I don't know why, because I've done this shit early in my life when I cheated. Early in my life when I would be like, no, I don't really fuck with this person. I don't, not really, bye. When, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you just saw them last night.
Just on clapping cheeks. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but I understand why he did it, but that's some stupid shit to do. Like, this is what I learned in my life. The more you talk bad about that woman is going to be more intrigued to know about that other woman. Especially because it's both sides to things. And then to come to find out it ain't just a woman. You got a whole nother kid. Nigga. Like, that's, you know what I mean? Yes, I'm going to find out what the fuck going on because women have to find out if you still fucking with them.
Of course.
And they're going to find out if you still fucking with them.
Of course.
Because it affects how they fuck with you.
Yes. Agreed.
The only reason he fucking mad was because she found out and she took some extra steps to fucking find out about her and the kid because she needs to know what else is going on in her life. That's something that I started to respect about the game. If you're going to play it that way, it's fair game for them to go find out what the hell else is going on in the life that y'all are supposed to be building. So, and it makes other things make sense for real. Mm-hmm. The only thing she wanted to do is, for real, is get clarity. Get clarity about everything, see where everything was so she could start making decisions on her own. And he got upset because she stepped in the middle and decided that she wanted to get the answer so she can make moves. He wanted to dictate everything.
Exactly. And you can't do that in someone else's life.
No, not at all.
Especially when there are other people involved. So you brought her into this situation where there were already other people involved.
Right.
You can't decide what she does, how she reacts to your lying. You can't decide how someone else decides to dole out their consequences.
Right.
You really can't.
Exactly.
My concern is this. The one wifey, she said she was put out. This means she didn't leave. She wasn't trying to leave.
Oof. Yeah.
She would have stayed. So I actually don't know that she's friends with the other one. I think at this point, she's kind of using her to see where they were, what happened, so she can hold this over his head. But she'd probably go back if he was like, no, you know what, I don't deal with her anymore, because now she knows he doesn't really deal with her anymore. So she knows all this. She can go back to him.
Right.
Because she wasn't, she just brought it up. She didn't leave. She didn't make her stance known. She didn't say, oh, either, another baby is involved. We need to do something about this. She didn't say any of those things. He had to put her out. So that means, bitch, we're not friends.
Right.
We're not friends at all. You just want to feel better about your situation now. So I think that the one with the younger baby needs to be really careful with this other woman. Don't tell her too much.
Right.
Because she's going to use it against you to him.
That is a fact.
So that they can be together. Understand, y'all are not friends.
Yeah.
You're competitors.
Right.
And so she's going to use every advantage she has to get back with him and lead the life she used to have.
Yeah.
So she's going to try to cut you out. Understand that. So, that's my only concern about the girlfriend number 2.
Yeah. And I hate that because
I do too.
It's true.
I know.
If you're in a situation with somebody that you love and shit like that, you don't really want to let them go that easy.
You don't.
Not over that.
And they have a baby?
Right.
What?
Exactly.
A young baby.
A young baby. Yes.
She's not trying to do that. Sis,
yeah.
She's trying to get you out of this equation.
Help, sis.
Exactly. We were in the same house. Had a great relationship. I'm sure he was helping with the baby. The family was helping with the baby. She doesn't want to be out there in the cold with nobody. Please. Right. She trying to get rid of you too. Yep. I promise you that she's going to learn all your secrets so that she can go back to him and be like, you don't want her.
Right. Exactly. She got this going on in her life.
Exactly.
And this. Yeah.
So she's trying to get her life back. And you ruined that in her mind. Not him.
Right.
You. Because if it was him, she would have left.
Right.
But in her mind, it wasn't him. You're the obstacle, not him.
Oh, so you'll be with me if she wasn't around?
That's the thing. She's like, we had a house together, a whole life. The family already loved me. What? It's only you in the way?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm not even going to ask about her anymore. You know what? We good. I don't have to ask about her because I'm talking to you.
Right. Exactly.
And I can now know that you're not dealing with him.
Yep.
Everything's great for her now.
Yep.
So
go ahead and let you slide on up in that position.
Exactly. Unfortunately, girlfriend number 2, wifey, not your friend.
Yeah, but to be
and
told,
I feel bad for you.
To be honest, I feel bad for both of the women because y'all dealing with a liar.
Of course, exactly.
So y'all competing over a
And
liar.
he now knows that you're not going to leave him. So you've now set a precedent, and he can do whatever he wants now. You've given him all this power. I promise you, he will go out and have another baby.
Yeah, that's fact.
Or he will go out and have somebody else. He might not have the baby.
But he gonna have another bitch.
Exactly.
Yeah.
He's gonna be like, you know what? I've learned. Let me have one that doesn't have a baby.
Yep. That's it.
And it'll be all right.
Yep. Less headache.
You've taught him that.
Yeah.
You've taught him it doesn't matter what he does. Y'all will still fight over him. Y'all will still want to be with him. He can do all of these things and it doesn't matter.
Right.
You teach people, you train people on how to treat you.
How to treat you. That's a fact.
And you've trained him, especially girlfriend number 2.
Yeah.
That he doesn't have to treat you well. He doesn't have to introduce you to family. He doesn't have to live with you. He doesn't have to anything, and you're still going to take it.
Right.
And wifey, he taught you that he can have all these things with you and still be with somebody else up under your nose. Yep. And you're still going to be with him.
You're still going to be with him. Yep.
You have trained this man in the most horrible way. No, please don't. I know y'all already involved and it's easy for me to say that, but just know you have made him worse, not better.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a fact.
This I guarantee.
Yep.
So
train your dragons.
Yes, that's exactly what you've done. It's like when people have really spoiled kids. They're like, why are they so spoiled? Because you gave them everything?
Yeah.
And they had no consequences? Y'all gave him everything. Yeah. And he has no consequences.
He ain't been smacked up the side of the head. No. None of that shit.
No.
No car scratched up. Like
exactly. Nothing.
Oh man, what do y'all need to let him know that he dealing with a psycho, bro?
Exactly.
That's the only way to get a nigga's attention that's doing the shit like this, man.
Because he's very comfortable right now in his little life. Like, she still wanted me. I could put her out. She still want to come back.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, she knew about wifey, and she still want to come back.
Yep.
Sis,
all he wanted
you deserve better. I promise you do. Yeah. And I want to hold him accountable for his children.
Right. Right.
But for you, no, you need to find somebody else.
Yeah.
Because he's not the one. But he can come see his kids and he can pay child support and he can do all things.
Right. And listen, I understand that you built in your head this type of life with this man because you have his kid. However, I need you to review the tapes so you can see how this man treated you and everybody around him. Look how he treated the person that he had the kid with before.
Exactly.
Like, so it's, one of those things like review the tape. Get out of your head, review the tape and see what's the best thing to do for you and your kid. You know what I mean? If he's a stand-up father, which I hope he is, then he'll be that, but not fuck you up in the process.
Exactly. Exactly. Because there are lots of people out there that'll do that. And I'm not just going to say men, women do it. Lots of people do this.
Yes.
So understand, he does not have your best interest at heart.
Not at all.
Only his own. Only his own. So, yes, do what you need to do for your kid, but for your heart, protect it from him.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So,
that's a fact.
Yes. We hope you find someone who's going to treat you amazing, the way you deserve to be treated.
Yes, indeed, indeed, indeed.
It's just not him.
Yeah, not him.
That's all.
Yeah, let that rock.
That's all. And it's hard to get rid of a dream you already had in your head. Because I know you were like, oh, he doesn't deal with her anymore. It's fine. We're building a life. I know you had a whole future planned out with this man. You were going to have to mourn that future, bury it, do all the things you have to do to get past it. It's going to take you some time, but start working on it now.
Yeah.
Because I promise you, whatever future you were dreaming about, it's not going to happen.
Yeah. And the longer you stay in it, the longer you're going to drown, man.
Yes. And the worse he's going to be.
Right.
Don't do this to yourself.
Yeah. And don't think you just going to go in there and be like, well, if we get back together, then this.
No.
Man,
no, I
save
promise
your fucking breath,
man.
Don't
do it.
That nigga ain't listening to it. You know what he hear in his head? Himself saying,
got her.
She back at the,
exactly.
Got her ass. Like, yeah, man.
That's it.
Yeah. Especially with him being immature about the situation and hiding kids. Exactly. Now, that's something that you really want to take into consideration and really understand and put that stain on his jacket for real. Because this man out here denying kids and shit and saying that he don't fuck with the mom and all this other stuff when you know that's the furthest from the truth. Look at how he's treating the mom of the kid. Don't ever think that he won't treat you like that if the situation don't fit him.
Exactly. So remember, you were the other woman in this.
Yep.
You absolutely were this entire time. And if he will treat his main woman like this, he's going to treat you a lot worse.
Yeah, that's a fact.
So
listen, all he needs is one fool to recognize another one.
Exactly.
Don't be the other fool, y'all.
Don't be that. So we want better for you. We do.
We do.
We have one more?
Yeah. Okay. We got time for one more.
Okay. Real quick then.
Real quick. Yeah.
This is a really quick question. Who has more power? The one that makes the most money